What does the dancer's retest prove? Even if you can see, you can't prove your relationship with her. The photographer said more. Wind Dance Elder. He is one of the closest to the grave. Of course, you have to know. This book is not just in one place. There are 6 places on her body where there are dragon seals. There's 2 places on the leg, one near the shoulder blades. The other 2 places, the photographer just talked about it. It's been blocked enough by the wind. In the heart of the dance, I think it's okay. I used to shower the owner. Of course, I know the location of Long Van. What the photographer said is absolutely accurate. Maybe the owner really has a connection with humans. Why is it possible? If you move outside, how big of a shock will it be in love? The photographer smiled and asked again. The elder wind dancer seems a little suspicious. No need to worry. I just need to explain. Then the elders will understand. The photographer thought, my life before the Great War in the Mooness grave, when lying on the dead river. Nuyet has launched Long Vanan. Long literature is dazzling, even if you look through your clothes. We can also see clearly. The photographer lies without blinking his eyes. The wind dance is mad and screaming and talking. You are the human body. The bride seems innocent of countless sins. He explained that the elder had something he didn't know. There is a kind of mystery in the world. It's called Japanese clairvoyance. This technique can take people's bodies. It's the absolution of a human being. In fact, I am a patriot. The surprised dancer asked, what is it that a lover like you does to exonerate mankind? The photographer replied, we've been practicing Japanese naturalization. It's because you want to make a big plan. In return, Ra is like that. If you can explain it, I will believe you. There are 2 tigers and a dragon. Of course, I only saw 2 people talking to each other. I can't hear any sound. That they keep calling dumber than dogs. I looked at the photographer and thought, he knows that the owner has a long history. There are only a few people who love God. If you know the evidence, he and the owner must be very close. The photographer hides it so well. There must be morality. I'm afraid there is a special arrangement. Then she paid homage to the photographer. Phoenix Vu worshiped the owner. The photographer hurried to pick up Fuang Vu and said, the old man is welcome. Fuang Vu now admires to ovulate. Cry for an hour. Her face is red, and she's touching her hands. I can't believe I met the owner in this place. The dance is also very honored. Master, if you need a dance, you can continue to the end at any time. When the photographer heard it, he was covered in chicken skin. The photographer thought what she was doing. I am the religion of her master. Dare to play with me again. Is this exploration or is it a patriotic custom? And we're different. What are you kidding? With the personality of Moon's grave, you can ring. Religion of self and other women. Back and forth. Phoenix can't help but know. The photographer is done. He showed a smiling face. The old man joked. We are loyal to the Lord. Of course not. Disloyalty to the owner. After listening to the Phoenix dance, the Buddha appeared cold, then make a pose. I have no idea if you have any thoughts. Or say you have the guts to do it without taking it. The Buddha did not tell the owner. The photographer was horrified. Don't make me make such a big mistake. We are now the human body. Maybe the salt elder with a human race. After listening to the dance, I was startled. The photographer is laughing right now. I need at least 15 more. can break it. Because of the master's work, I was forced to sacrifice like that. The Buddha said that the master has suffered. It was that Fuang Vu had gone too far. The photographer replied, now we're in the dance. At the same time, he became the owner, to earn everyone's trust. Masters work step by step. But it's been almost a month. I still can't report progress to the owner. I don't know the old man. Is there anything wrong with coming here today? The police replied, of course, I'm here to arrest you. Do you know the 6 nearest gods? Is this a little weird or not? The surprised photographer asked what was strange. The dance is curious. The 6 great gods. I've recently come across some kind of magic potion. Power surge. Master's breakthrough to the martial arts scene. More and more. But I don't know why. So we're going to heaven and hell. Probe a little, even if it hurts 7 people. We must also investigate the cause. Laughing out loud, ha 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 ha. So what is this? The dance seemed surprised. Ask the owner, what's going on? The photographer replied, of course, the old dancer must have heard of it. In this world, there's also drugs that can make other people's powers worse. Increased rapidly in a few days, but no SAO side effects. Phoenix replied no. The people of the 6 gods at SAO. The photographer replied, the old dancer has something he doesn't know. The god of medicine said it was spiritual medicine. But in fact, it's just a spirit medium. Piang Vu was surprised to ask Long Yuan Lin. The photographer explained, the old man doesn't know. Long-term translation can also be understood. You can also talk about something. Check out Hyanuyid Pharmacopoeia a bit. This is a drug from Long Ian. Long Ian. It's a land where the bones of countless animals are buried. The carcasses of this bloodthirsty animal, gathered together, through thousands of years, slowly stabilized and formed into a long primeval fluid. The curious dancer asked, I don't know how long this is. How does it work? You can make Cho Vi of the 6 great gods. Increased to such an ostentatious level. Laughing out loud, haha. Master Fei is too worried. Can this be promoted to the 6th level? But there's a fatal side effect. Ask about the side effects. The photographer raised 3 fingers and said, long raw flexible fluid, although it may be temporary. Potential effectiveness of the drug. It's only taken 3 years to get rid of it. VI will be reduced. At that time, VI may not be the same as the beginning. The dancer expressed doubt and asked again. So they at SAO chose this way to practice. Smiling photographer, haha, of course, because no one knows. Have side effects. 3 years later, it's too late. The dance also looks amazing. I asked if there was such a thing. They finally. How many people use long-term? The photographer replied, as far as I know, there's thousands of people basically. The top players of the 6 gods. They are all used. The dance is joyful. 3 years from now, it will not be. Tiger and dragon are talking to each other. They're talking pretty good, whether they need to be arrested or not. The photographer confirmed that Fuang Vu was not wrong. God also helps the owner. 3 years later, the master's work may succeed. The dance continued. This is also due to the owner. The photographer replied not. This dragon spirit is from the god of dance. Not wrong, but it's not what we do. It's what we think. It could be the Holy Ghost. The brain is now also wired. Rao is like that, if it's the layout of the nest. We just have to wait for the photographer to confirm. That's right. That's right. Master Long is still at an important time. It's such a small thing we shouldn't bother. Wait for 3 years. In a year or so, the 6 great gods did not succeed in destroying it. The Lord's prayer is very reasonable. Waiting for the new owner. Or when the power of the 6 great ministers is greatly reduced. At that time, the owner can leave the 6 gods alone. I was lucky to meet the owner here. If we're with the 6 gods, waging war at will, I'm afraid it will hurt 7 very badly. The Lord responded to the duty. Fuang dance elder guest's heir. And then, Fuang dance probe. The owner is alone in the sky. Everywhere is dangerous. You have to be careful. The photographer was embarrassed when he heard it. Facial, skin so thick, but also blush sao. Fuang Vu said to honor his master Min, god of martial arts. The photographer is now startled to realize that it is not good, but this dog is not so easily fooled. I want to use magic to charm myself. I'm still exploring my reality. It will come with you. The photographer pretended to laugh. The captain of the dance is too commendable. He. Even after we reincarnate, the power is not the same as before, but the magic trick is fanciful. Once implemented, the martial arts masters of the angel. Don't stop me either. The red-faced dancer asked the master. This magic is mesmerized. What is magic after all? Why, I've never heard of it. He looked surprised and asked the old man. I've never heard of this technique. I don't know if your mother has ever mentioned it to you. The fool asked Nie. I can't believe the owner is talking to him like that. This magic is mesmerized. I've never heard the owner mention it. The photographer can't be blamed for answering this. This art comes from the land. It's one of the 10 great secrets. Inheritance of the ancestral land. The dance also understood. Then Ra is transmitted from the ancestral land. Maybe the owner is from the land. The photographer raised his hand and asked, this message is not transmitted outside the LAN. The Lord obeyed the Lord. Then close your eyes and stop doing art. The photographer here is stupid. He shook his head very hard. The minister ordered the elder Fengwu. I command you to return immediately to God. Protect the God of love until the God of justice. Master her. It's still at the critical moment. Careful retreat. In case someone sneaks in love. Vu paid homage to the master. Detective's photographer. Just give me the 6 priests. Waiting for the owner. We will once again destroy them. The Buddha replied, yes, I have asked you before. The photographer can also agree. Suddenly, the dog remembered what happened and said, waiting to meet the boss today is also a coincidence. If one of my disciples doesn't know anyone, it's as if the owner was injured. To die 1,000 times is not enough. The dance here has a card. Please accept it. There is an order for this card. Love God tone. I will not have anyone who would dare to harm the Lord. I told you, 2 hands of respect to the photographer. The photographer carefully instructed. The secret of my identity. Don't tell anyone. The dancer bowed her head and said, Master, just take this command away. Just in case you use it. Please, Lord, accept it. The police officer said if so. I will receive it. I am not going to see anyone else. The less we know about our identity, the better. Only the owner can succeed. Even if we're misunderstood. He was killed by a disciple of the Lord of Heaven. Shame with heart. Aha Piang Vu confirms that I understand and respect the owner. The mayor ordered you to return. I want to go back to the angel. Then he turned his back and launched. Now the dog has returned to the 2 men. Tiger and dragon. She ordered Long's death. The tiger gave my orders. All the disciples of the Lord have returned to me. Come with me to love God. The dragon asked the old man. How does this work? Cause the power of these groups has increased. Not found yet. How do I stop my hand here? The tiger agreed in a hurry. That's right. Sao can be easy. Let the women of the angel of heaven fall. But Death long saw the tiger lose his temper. He put his head down and said no. Our two brothers. Of course, I only listened to the Master Fengwu. The dancer nodded in satisfaction. Then the cave relatives of the god of love. He withdrew to the tiger. I wonder about the dance. Sao elders can easily retreat like that. I don't know what the photographer said to her. The Lord reminded us to trust the elders. Trust the elders. And so, the gods just walked away. Photographer in a bush sticking his head up. I watched the Kia retreat and laughed. Ha ha ha. I watched the goblins leave and thought. Angel has been in business for thousands of years. With the forces of the Phoenix. It is impossible to destroy them today. But if we actually start a war, the angel will be seriously injured. This is absolutely not a good thing. 6 great gods, even if it is 0 hearts. But it's also considered a grasshopper. On the same rope. I don't know that either. Can actually last up to 3 years or not. But with the effect of this half-year holy potion, 6 again the gods can make progress. Until then, dealing with God's love will be more secure. Waiting for the moon to break through. Let's hear the dance recount. I don't know how to react, haha. Disgusting for her. The opposite is something that makes other people happy. I hope she stays a little longer. At least half a year later, out. I can't deal with her now. Martial arts retreat is more or less 3 to 5. For a year or so inside the Anthan meditation, the fire's smoke filled the sky. Everywhere was the scene of the killing of countless disciples who had fallen. They're all trying to fight back, protect the soul. The cute animal that came in was killed by the Southern Palace fairy. She ordered her subordinates, don't let God's people get closer to the soul. The crowd killed and obeyed. Now there's a predator opening its mouth and fangs. Rolling my eyes to pounce towards the angels. But this beast has been swayed by IPZ's hand, a Chuang. Let him freeze. IPZ glanced over here. The child was also electrocuted. A patriot. The 2 women were beating and nodding at each other. The rest of the gods have also been repulsed. Scream out. The male bow fairy coughed up. The lovers over here. I'm looking at the Southern Palace with lust. They laughed so furiously, ha ha ha. But suddenly, they're stupid. And then there's a blast of signal, soaring up into the sky. This is the signal to retreat. Full-faced patriots out there. So they just run away. The angels are now in awe. They want to run away. The male bow fairy rushed to stop chasing him. The women were in a hurry to ask him how he was. You don't know. My father said to me, I don't know. I can't believe the power of God's people. So strong again. I've sent 10 martial artists over here. They're going straight to the soul. Intend to make others shiver. If they don't back off, I'm afraid it's an evil battle. The women talk to each other. God's love is getting stronger. How can they go into the big fight? We've been targeted. One of them reminded me of the time. They'd already snuck in here. After getting rid of the gods, I'm tired of breathing so far. Between God and us, although many times rubbing together. But such a powerful attack was the first time. Although after obtaining the holy potion, the power of the angel is greatly increased. But if you love God, you'll kill me. We're afraid we can't resist. Go and have a look. What about the other elders? Then the subordinates respectfully obey. A moment later, the photographer came back. Inside the angel tone, he looked around for something. I rushed over and called the photographer. The photographer also called back. I was also worried about the photographer for so long. You're not a photographer. When he saw his 2 wives running away, he was glad. He grinned and replied, "Why do good people live long? People like me, not living 1,000 years is enough." This word makes you stop covering your mouth. Giggle. Hi, and IP2 suddenly jumped up and shouted inappropriately. The photographer finished listening and laughed. And leave with your hands behind your ass. Right now, Southern Bow Fairy Sound called the Regent Master. Hello, Regent? I can see the whole body of the Buddha. Surprised to ask the owner. Your face is not very good. Why not? The male fairy replied. Just now he was injured by the gods of love. On the contrary, it's not cool. The photographer pretended to ask the Gao. The people just now, maybe they just like God's guests. I'm outside. I have met Fuang Vu. The male Bao Fairy Panic asked the Phoenix dance. The photographer continued. Fortunately, they didn't. If the Phoenix Vu out of the hands of the angel, just afraid. Yi gently clung to the photographer's shirt and reminded the photographer. The other students were upset. What does this guy say? However, the Southern Palace agreed with the photographer. I don't know why. God's love suddenly stopped attacking. The photographer replied casually, Love God tone, it's just a temporary fear of running away. They had received the order of the Phoenix. Of course, I have to withdraw. Southern Bow Fairy Sound finished. Ask a question at the temple. Then understood Ra and paid homage to the photographer. Ra is the assistant regent. I am very grateful to you. The photographer asked again, Southern Palace Cardboard Master, next how? If they come back, why? Mil Bao. If God's people dare to invade. Angel Yin Tone, I swear I will fight. Even if it's an endless cycle. Nor refuse. I swear to death. Will coexist with the church. The other sisters shouted. Coexistence with the Gentile. The photographer was also surprised by the will of the crowd. He whispered, and then he said in our. The gods of heaven and earth. It's very brave. But we have a way to solve it. I don't know the owner. The South Bow is a little quiet. Then tell the photographer. Master, keep talking. In her heart, she thought. The angel is in danger now. We just need to be able to protect the angels. No matter what he asks. I want to make bigger sacrifices than I can accept. The simple answer is really simple. Now the power of our Lord is very strong. Many martial arts masters tell. We're sending people back to the news. To send a few more Gao. Go into the sky. Of course, we can protect the angels. Ask the astonished male Bao Fairy. It's as simple as that. The photographer laughed and said it was that simple. At the same time in the forest, because the elixir of the regent, now there are a lot of masters. Except for the disciples of Ra. Countless disciples received exoteric dependence. Both schools have doubled in size. More. These students are actually rising very quickly. Dance God hit now. It's like the first great religion. But it's because the temple is completely closed. Refuse to receive guests. Big cardboard. They do not know the true power of God. Even if it is. People of the great tribes come over here. They don't stop intelligence. To buy holy medicine, there's enough of it. Now, there's a shadow watching from a distance. It's really exciting. God of martial arts exclaims, unexpected after the retreat out. Our dance God. This has changed the sky and the earth like that. The astronomer God said, see out originally brought the boss tone position. Assigned to the successor regent. It's a very accurate choice. God's people also contribute. With the current power of the Vu God, I was the first to be absolutely correct. Photography is a great thing. Long Min God recommends such talent. It must be kept. On the contrary, I have a proposal. There are 5 of us in each family. Ramos selection. Excellent young woman married to photographer. If so, I will give my all for the Lord of Heaven. Dragon dance in my tribe. It is a good fit for photography. Or arrange for them. Getting married soon. God's mercy laughed out loud, haha. This way is very good. I just don't know. How does the photographer himself think? The angel sighed, as far as I can see. The photographer, on the other hand, is not a sharp guy. I'm afraid that doesn't work. Injured inflammation God raised his voice. I don't know if you have a high opinion or not. The angel replied to the photographer. This person seriously means a genuine body. We just need to take care of him. Plus, now he is the owner of the temple. We are the best with his personality in the bank. They will not betray the Lord. If you force him to marry a girl of his own, we're afraid there will be the exact opposite reaction. The angel sang out loud and said, he is the disciple of the angel. Of course, the angel. You will understand the spirit of the devil better, according to the will of the angel. Suddenly, the angel was startled. He told us all. Receive the transmission of the photographer. He was a little bit quiet. I raised my voice to ask, I don't know what the news is. The angel answered him. Angel Yin Tone, I have just encountered the attack of God. He told us to choose the 5,000 masters of God. Go to the protection for Angel Tone Tone. At least we need to change the scene. It also needs to be over 10 martial arts masters. The martial god was surprised to ask 50,000 masters. It's too much to know what the photographer's intentions are. The angel is not sure if he can agree. The angel replied. The angel agreed, but that the photographer has some requirements for the chosen person. The gods now hold up their mother Ra. The angel continued. The student sent, there must be the FA. The doctor asked the FA in surprise. What does this mean? Long Min God chuckles, hi hi hi. This photographer is so cunning. The angel was silent for a moment. Then speak up, I still believe in God a little. Long Min God replied. Think about it, angel. What people the most? The gods were silent for a moment. Then one answered the prophet. Long Min God replied. Angel Tone does not receive. The most male students are of course women. These words make other gods stupid. Long Min's spirit continued. I think the angel. Maybe he was attacked by God. In times of danger, let the photographer unwind. Otherwise, you'll not be satisfied with this type of request. Proverbs spoken. What girl doesn't dream about love? Don't tell me how many years they've come. Even the boys have never met. Single men and women of the South. You can see how effective it is. Goddess Mercy asks the fake man in the sky. You didn't say you had a body. Long Min God replied to the great macho. The meaning of love, the opposite is not wrong, but it can't be too straight. Sometimes brainstorm a little. On the contrary, it's not a bad thing. I like the character of this boy. The Angel of Honor asked the photographer's suggestion. What do you think? Long Min God approves. I agree with the photographer's proposal. Think about it. It's not a conspiracy with angels. This time, it's just to protect the angels. You can solve the problem of love. Help the disciples of the angel. Bringing to Islam. One arrow hits 2 targets. Why not happy? The God of Mercy. 5,000 male disciples stationed in the angel of heaven. If you make 50,000 couples, I'm afraid the whole angel. Everything will be under our control. 15 more. It is hard to escape from Goddess grace. Even though it's not right now. Let's see what the plot is. But is that not very good or not? The gods are working. The main road, of course. Long Min God of refutation. Goddess word says this is wrong. This is not the main road. Angel needs help. You said to send soldiers. Goddess people were silent for a moment and answered yes. Long Min God continued. If you send people, so send the best AI. More or less the disciples of the Wu God. Admiring the disciple of the angel of heaven. You can't help others succeed. In the house of the great God, there is a beautiful wife. People in good circumstances, not understanding the suffering of others. Our dance gods are many men and few women. These students can't live their whole lives. The God of mercy can't argue with you. So he said that, and I agree. The angel gave orders. If everyone agrees, then we will send someone to select 50,000 FA disciples. In the speed tone, go to the angel tone. Transmission of sound thousands of miles in a certain form is in the same strict, because to avoid the angels. Again, under attack. We have to move quickly now. For a while the back of the luggage, the stripe, becomes serious. The FA disciples of Wu then Tung quickly gathered. Soon they were in thousands. Straight line order right short. A gentleman asked for his luggage. I don't know if the vice president has summoned us. There's something wrong with that. You'll definitely need a single male disciple. Maybe. The vice patriarch wants to take us to get married, or SAO. The students below shouted with great excitement. Thousands of people to marry, SAO. I love photography. I love photography. Don't let the girl see your eyes. What the hell is that place? We have to attack the god of love, EAA. In our world, cultivators can't get married. After the new president took office, how many levels has my cultivation ascended? What the hell are you doing? All right. Where is your vase? It is for my father to use. Particularly fast absorption. The luggage heard the bees all over the head. And then he sent the managers back. Keep the people below quiet. Luggage and so on sniffed and said, since the Lord's coming into heaven. This was the first time he had sent orders. Listen carefully for me. The others are idiots, Ra said. The Lord is the Lord as command. The crowd is moving. Keep your mouth as quiet as a sheet. The luggage glared up and looked. Then he announced out loud, for 50,000 FAs. The Lord told me to summon you. It's because I'm going to bring you. Sent to heaven and earth. A guy shouted out loud to the vice president. Tone Master said, what important mission do we have over there, SAO? What danger is the owner in? Let me come to protect you. Luggage and so on despondent hand said, what kind of trouble can the owner have? I will send you there this time. No need to protect the owner. It's about protecting the angels. The raw fools asked the angel. They need tens of thousands of us to protect SAO. Luggage and so on explain about a time ago. Love God. Suddenly, a big attack on the angel. The angel was injured a lot. But I love God. It was immediately abandoned by our master. Threatened to withdraw, but maybe they'll come back again. Angel Yin Tone, he is also one of the 6 gods. Our own way. We need to protect them. Not to be attacked by ghosts. You guys are screaming, we got it, Vice President. Don't worry. We will definitely complete this mission. We will definitely give it our all. That protects for Angel Tone. Luggage is a little shy. Then reluctantly say, the owner has a very important task. After you go through there, you have to bring us a child. Fucking idiots who ask each other a kid. What a child. Luggage with an embarrassed face. I need to let you know why. Try to think. How many years has the angel fallen? It doesn't appear through any man. Yin-yang is out of balance. It's like a dead lake in the future. How is it? Against the army of the patriots. So you guys go over there. You need to actively interact with the female disciples of heaven. I hate you guys after listening. Immediately pleasantly drooling asked the owner again. I really need to see the eyes. Luggage, etc., yelled angrily at what to look at. To find an object, you must rely on yourself. Take a trip to the United States. If you come, even a girl can't chase. That's too embarrassing for the clairvoyant. From now on, he was expelled from the school. Never recruit again forever. The FA guys immediately yelled out A. Luggage continues. Maybe marriage is the best. If you bring Theo a kid back here. That's to strengthen the tone. Has great merit. The prize is 10 holy potions. If you could have 2. So the reward is 30 holy potions. Have you heard it all? These stupid FAs finally got their brains cleared. They shouted out loud and understood. Got it. And then the guy immediately jumps up. Luggage reminds me of this. You know, it's okay. Don't let the sky. I know a little bit about nature. The boys shouted, I understand. And then all 50,000 of them happily pulled away. Cosmetic grain luggage. I can't believe I thought of this trick. That photographer's name is so shameless. That's it. 50,000 of the Fa gods soared into the sky. The team is as numerous as ants. They're excited, they're screaming, they're screaming. Transfer, scene photographer here get private. When he finished reading, he said, police have sent 50,000 people here. It's redundant to protect the angels. I also agree with you. But I have a little doubt. Why does it have to be single people? Maybe the others. They can't protect the tribe. Or SAO photographer, make the mean face answer. It's because of being single, so that we can be dedicated. They protect the sky. God will be safe. I was surprised to ask. Being single is all about it.